What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. This is Queen Sugar season 7 episode 10. So the majority of this episode was Prosper's wedding to Ann Nesby, which was beautiful and it was great. But let me tell you what the only thing I'm mad about with this whole storyline with Mr. Prosper and his wife, his now wife, why we ain't getting no song from Ann Nesby. Now I know in the beginning they was singing and dancing to the oldies but goodies. All right, that was cute and all. But I'm saying, why Ann ain't seen her man at the wedding? She ain't give him a good old serenade down to the wedding. What's the purpose of having Ann Nesby on the show if we not going to get Ann Nesby singing? Moving on. The night before the wedding, Nova's boyfriend shows up, okay? They on the phone. It was real cute. And he was on the phone, and she was like, listen, this is a lot, okay? You were supposed to be gone for a couple of weeks. You've been gone for a couple of months. And he was like, well, tell me, like, has this changed how you feel about me? And she was like, no. And he said, well, I have to be honest. You know, we need to talk about that. And then her door starts ringing, right? Her doorbell starts ringing. And at first, my first thought was, Lord, it's the girlfriend showing up. It's the ex-girlfriend showing up to start some shit. She gonna say something. He gonna hear it on the phone. It's gonna be a problem. But then I thought, that's him. And it was cute and whatever. So the next day is the wedding. We see Ralph Angel struggling with his, speech. Because, of course, there's a lot of pressure on him to say the right things about Prosper. Then we see Prosper at the house nervous, and his daughter is calming him down, saying, Daddy, it's going to be okay. Charlie sent him a beautiful watch. It probably was a Rolex or something, child. Of course, she can't be there because it's too close to the campaign. I mean, to the election, and she ain't had time to come. And y'all know good and damn well Charlie wouldn't have missed Mr. Prosper wedding. But neither here nor there. We know what's really going on. We gotta let it be what it's gonna be. Everybody looked gorgeous. The colors were like this light green, maybe mint green. It was really cute, a beige type thing. It was really cute. But that was nice. And they had a moment, him and his daughter had a moment where basically he was thanking her for being there, and her coming back was the best present that he could have ever gotten. And he really appreciates the time they spent together and been able to kind of, work these things out. And so I thought that was cute and that was beautiful. So they exchanged their vows. It was cute. They didn't jump the broom, baby. They stepped over the broom, and we were all appreciative of that. They was dancing, having a good time. And it was black love all up and through there. And, of course, Michael was there taking his pictures. But it was beautiful. It was beautiful and great. Nova pulls Ralph Angel aside to talk to him. And she said, listen, I talked to Darla about the movie. And she let me know where she was with that. And he was like, yeah, I talked to her too. And she said, Nova, Darla said she's good to go with the movie, but how do you feel about it? And once again, Ralph Angel was like, I still don't like the way the whole thing went down. I think it was dirty. But, it is what it is. She's cool with it. I'm cool with it. So she ends up giving Ralph Angel the advance that she got for the movie and told him, listen, you use this however you need to use it to get that land back. So, of course, that was a whole moment. It was beautiful. Then they started smelling fire. And Ralph Angel was like, baby, that's sugar cane. Like, this ain't the right time of year for sugar cane to be burning. Oh, yeah, he gave a great, of course, he gave a great toast for his dad. It was beautiful. So they all go out, and they were able to stop the fire. And it was on Landry Land, and it was very controlled. And it didn't really hurt a whole lot. But, of course, it brought up a lot of questions about why they burning, why they burning their own cane, what's going on. And they started speculating. They were like, listen, he trying to get out. Like, we got the documents from the bank. We know he behind on all his loans. We know he cash strapped. And he trying to get out of this. Like, that's really all there is to that. Prosper's daughter was like, listen, I can call my man to come back out here. He's dealt with some cases like this, and let's get to the bottom of it. We have some documents now. We have some concrete, evidence that there's discrimination going on. We just need to know what's the right direction to go in. Now we found out that she went back to Chicago, and her man, they done kind of, reconnected, and they're in a good space. He really understands. She was able to articulate what it was, and like she told Nova, the more she met other guys, the less she was interested in other guys. So after the wedding is over, because like I said, maybe the first 20 minutes was the wedding. So after maybe 25 minutes, but anyway, after the wedding was over, Micah is talking to his ex, and he asked her. He said, "Listen, Kiki, let me ask you a question. Why did you break up with me?" He said, "I don't think I ever got a clear answer." And she said, "I'm gonna be honest with you. I broke up with you because at the time it was really hard being your girlfriend. Everybody looked at me like, how did she get him?" She said, "When we were here in St. Joe, it wasn't a problem because everybody knew me first, and I didn't have to live up to that shadow of David West's son. I'm dating David West's son. But once we got here to Xavier and everybody found out who you were, I was getting the side eye, the looks like, that's out of his league. She ain't good enough. Ooh, she country, she this, she that." And Micah said, "That's interesting because I always felt like you were out of my league. Like, that's really funny." And she said, "Well, I'm in a better place now. Like, I know I'm that ish. I don't need other people to validate me, and I know that I deserve everything that I have. But, it took me a while to get here." And she said, "I could have handled it better. I definitely could have talked to you and expressed, but, I had to process through as well." So once again, we see them closing loops. Now, they didn't fall into each other's arms and make mad passionate love, but I feel like in that moment, I felt like those were people that they could be friends. Now, whether they ever end up in a romantic relationship again, I'm not really sure. They didn't really give us anything with that, but they definitely looped it back around. Now, Aunt Vi's packing a bag. Aunt Vi said, "Listen, I got to go find my friend." Okay? Like, they starting fires on her land, and if I don't try something, I got to do something. Like, I got to do something because at the end of the day, I had to make sure that I did everything that I could do, and I put everything in place. Ralph Angel, Darla, Prosper's daughter, and the boyfriend, they're all sitting down trying to come up with a plan on what to do about Landry. Now, of course, they have enough proof. They have about 80% of what they need. They just got to connect all the dots. And so Ralph Angel was like, "Well, let me go talk to Landry." And they were like, "Yeah, that's probably not the best idea. You and Landry don't like each other. Y'all have a history. And if you go in there, you may say too much. You may tip his hand a little bit. And then, right now we have the element of surprise. He doesn't know we have this information. He doesn't know we know as much as we know. You go in there, it might get ugly." Darla was like, "I'll go. I got this." So Darla goes to see Landry, and she does a really good job. She does a really good job. And what she ends up finding is Landry slips up, and he mentions something about lightning fires. And with that little tidbit of information, they were able to go back to the documents, and they were able to find where lightning fires was another natural disaster that the farmers were eligible for relief for. So they were able to find where Landry got all of these loans for these fires that the black farmers never got. They were also able to separate the dates and see where Landry applied for certain things at the same time as the black farmers. He got it, but the black farmers never did. So they were able to basically pinpoint, based on the little tidbit that he gave them, they were able to put together and have the exact enough evidence to show the discrimination. Well, they went down to the USDA office just for a little icing on the cake, and they were able to get the dude on tape because, of course, I guess nowadays people forget that you can record on your phone and all these other things, but they were able to get him on tape basically because Ralph Angel took the check to them from Nova saying, "This is enough for me to pay my loan. Like, I'm good on my loan." And he was like, "I don't know where that money came from. That could be drug money. That could be money from ill-gotten gains." And he called him a thug and everything else. And he was like, "Yeah." And Darla was like, "Sorry, Ralph Angel." He was like, "Oh no, I'm good. He ain't about to get me off my square. Nah, I'm good." And so They got it on tape. So of course that's like the ice on the cake. That's like the, you know, the needle in the thread. Now, Prosper's daughter and her boyfriend, they have a moment. You know, they're flirting, they're feeling good, and he told her how smart she was, and he told her about how when they were, because they met in law school, and he was like, "Listen, I would have never graduated from law school without you, you know, and it's a shame that you never finished." And he was like, "Did you want to finish?" And she was like, "Yeah." So you see that he's encouraging her to go back to school and stuff. And then they end up, you know, making love on the couch. And it was funny because they still had on like their bra and their t-shirt and stuff like that. Child, because Mr. Prosper and his new wife then came home because, yeah, they had a room at the hotel at the bridal suite, but they didn't want to stay at the hotel. So, of course, they were shocked. It was a cute little embarrassing moment with your daddy and his new wife walking in on you and your boyfriend, right? Even though y'all in your 40s. But she actually proposed to him and he accepted. So they're going to get married. And, you know, he told her that way back a couple of episodes ago. Like, when you figure it out and you decide that this is what you want, baby, we're not playing no games. It's going to be me, you, together. Nova decides that since she done processed through all her ex-loves in the last couple of days, that she needs to write about it. And she's talking to her boyfriend on the couch, and she tells him that's what she's working on. And he was like, "Well, let me read it." And she was like, "I'll let you read it when it's ready." You know, like right now, I don't know whether this is going to be a book. I don't know if this is an essay. I don't know if this is just for me for my own personal process and growth. But you know, I'll let you read it when I'm done. Of course, she gets a phone call from Charlie, you know. She leaves the room, and of course, he reads it. Of course, he gets in his feelings, and he gets upset. And he's like, "Yo, like, I was stuck in a tent in the Sudan when y'all had that hurricane. I'm checking the weather app every hour on the hour to make sure you all right. And you here with the love of your life and all of that." And she was like, "See, first of all, you read something that I told you not to read. But since you read it, did you read it to the end?" So at the end, you know, of course, we know what Nova said at the end, that I called him the love of my life before I knew what love was. Like, you are the love of my life. Like, I understand now. And I had to go through all of those things to understand love and to be able to appreciate love and what love really was. Now, I think that Nova thought that was going to make him fall into her arms. But what it really made him say was, "Girl, I never had any questions." Like, here I was thinking that it was me and you. We were on the same page. We was on the same wavelength. And you were trying to figure out a way to be in love with me. And I was already in love with you. Now, a part of me, I don't think that that's fair. I honestly don't think that that's fair because everybody has their own baggage and their own trauma that they have to work through. It doesn't mean that Nova doesn't want to be with this man. It doesn't even mean that Nova can't make it work. But what it does mean is their process is different. And I just don't think that that's fair for him to put that. You know, Nova was being honest with him. And y'all know I don't always give Nova a lot, child. But Nova was being honest with him, right? But anyway, child, hopefully they work that out. Ava and Hollywood made their way to Seattle to go visit old girl. That's where the episode ends, with her knocking on the woman's door. So we'll see what happens in the next episode. And Darla and Ralph Angel got a call from a woman down to Congress who got a copy of this tape and all of their evidence, and she is convening a committee, and she wants Ralph Angel to come and talk. And what we're seeing in that moment is Ralph Angel once again coming to his own. And Ralph Angel was like, "I don't know, because I ain't much of a public speaker." And Darla was like, "Hold up, bruh. You want to stop selling yourself short." She said, "When I met you, you said you were never good in school and you weren't good in math. Yeah, I see you calculate crop prices in your head without a calculator. Like, you good at what you want to be good at, right? Or what comes naturally to you." She said, "You say you're not a public speaker, but I have seen you give speeches and get these farmers all riled up. Like, you absolutely are ready for this. You absolutely have this and you are ready for this." So that's pretty much where the episode ended. And I will talk to y'all later. Peace.